Hi there. Well, the weekend is coming to an end. It's almost 10 o'clock on Sunday night. My husband Ross and I have just returned home from culminating the weekend with a lovely dinner out, sitting outside on a patio on this beautiful summer night. Um, it was just a wonderful end to a busy weekend, a productive weekend, and also a relaxing one. And now I'm back home and I'm reviewing notes and making some extra notes to get on my starting blocks for the week. Things that I'm going to be talking about in my workshops with clients or uh, techniques and strategies that I'm going to be concentrating on when I'm preparing content for my clients. Um, and I thought it would be fun for you to get a preview of some of that, and also for me to just get my headspace into the right place. So I'll think about this and dream about this while I sleep and wake up ready for bear tomorrow morning. So my talk here would be to those of you, which is probably many of you in several different positions. One, who are struggling to get new clients to grow your business. Two, to people who are rebranding. Maybe they think what they've been doing hasn't worked. Maybe you think you have to elevate your brand and you want to do that. And three, people who just want to scale, who have had success in their business and want to scale. And whichever category you fall into, uh, with different levels of distress or excitement, it is conceivable that after you've gone to a Sunday dinner and go to sleep and wake up in the middle of the night as you're thinking about starting your week, you might be saying to yourself, I need more clients. And then you might be saying to yourself, how am I going to get them? Well, as a person who's focused on personal brand, because if you are in a small or mid-sized business, if you're the founder or you're part of the leadership team, your personal brand is significant to the business brand. So if you're thinking personal brand, um, that is one thing that these thoughts I'm going to share with you will come into play. If you understand and know, and I'm aware of, and either appreciative of or scared of, whatever, that it is the attention economy and that content with a capital C is a key way to get attention in the attention economy. uh, you might be saying to yourself, how the heck am I going to do this content? Maybe you're not comfortable with writing and being creative. Maybe, and this is so understandable, you're so busy running your business that you don't have the time to sit down and write and be creative. So some version of these thoughts may be waking you up in the middle of the night and causing you to have some moments of panic. And so I thought I'd end Sunday and move into Monday by sharing you some thoughts I have on that topic. So I am a person who helps people develop their personal brands, and I do that through content with a capital C, and it's content that's wrapped in story. because story is the glue that holds your content together. And there are three key things that I believe you have to think about. And the first of those is consistency. You need to be consistent. What does that mean? Probably the first thing that might come to mind is that you need to be consistent in showing up. You need to have a presence, you need to have visibility on social media. So, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, you need to have visibility there. But to make that visibility work, it has to be consistent. Probably at a minimum 3 times a week, maybe more. But people have to see you regularly because remember, when you do show up on social, it's not guaranteed that everybody is going to see you every time. So be consistent in frequency. But something else, you also have to be consistent in how you show up. That is what you're putting out there, what your message is, what your words are, what you're saying. You don't necessarily talk about going out to dinner on a Sunday night and then talk about going to watch a soccer game or going to a conference in New York. They're very different things. The key is that if you're going to talk about those different events or experiences, is there a thread that binds them? And that is where the consistency comes in. The thread, the message, the why of who you are, how you show up, your reactions to those three disparate things has the same meaning and tone to it. And that's how people get to know you, get to know who you are. And that's how people get intrigued by you, get engaged by you, and ultimately get to know, like, and trust you. So, consistency in frequency and in words and message. The second thing is feeling and emotion. Yes, in business, feeling and emotion do play a part, perhaps contrary to either popular belief or belief that sometime was. I always say business is not just shoulder shrug, it's just business, but rather it's hashtag more than just business because business does include a strong element of emotion and feeling. That comes in when you're trying to attract customers, first of all, because you are not going to build bridges by just talking facts, by just telling people how long you've been in business or what you've accomplished. Rather, you're going to create a connection when you show them that you get that they're up in the middle of the night worrying about where they're going to get their next customer. You get that they feel frustrated because they don't have enough time or talent to write content that gets them noticed. You get that they could be struggling or they're so eager to achieve and they're not sure how to do it. You get that and you want to help them. And you get, as a service provider for your ideal client, that you have the solution to help them. And you show them not only what that solution is, but that when you provide that solution, what life will look like when they use your services. You give them that vision of a better place to their pain. And you even remind them that if they don't follow your lead, if they don't follow your guidance, they may end up either in a worse position or certainly stuck in the mud at where they am. And all that creates emotion, that creates attachment, that speaks to their sad place, their scared place, their anxious place. It speaks to, when you talk about the vision, their happy place. It speaks to, when you show them you have a solution, their hopeful place. That's all emotion, folks. That's not just fact. And that's where the magic happens. That's where the connection occurs. And finally, here's the big one. All of that, the consistency of frequency and language, um, the emotion and feeling of showing them that you understand their pain and showing them how you can help. The best way to deliver that is through the medium of story. Oh, and what a wonderful medium it is. In fact, the right stories will always attract the right clients because people love stories. They remember stories. I even have some statistics that I'm going to share with my clients this week. Listen to this. 55% of consumers are more likely to remember a story than a list of facts. 68% of consumers say that brand stories influence their purchasing decisions. And companies with compelling brand stories have a 20% increase in customer loyalty. What does that mean, story in business? I suspect that you've all heard about that because that really is a trend today. And I'm hoping, as a writer, that the idea of story, wonderful story, doesn't become commoditized because story is quite special. Um, Story is what creates bridges. Stories are what tap into universal emotions. Stories are pieces that you take from your own life that illuminate things that you want to prove about a problem or a topic, things that you want to prove as to how and why you understand a person's problem and how you can take them from problem through solution to a better existence. Story is really quite joyous. It is a connective tissue between you and your prospects and between you and your existing clients. And while you're at it, the more you find your stories and tell them, the more empowered you become. And that influences and impacts your mindset, positioning you to show up more capably with impact and presence and a natural energy that's all yours, that shows up in everything you write, say, and do. That's right. The right stories always attract the right clients. And content, which everybody is telling you is so important today, and it is, content done right is always wrapped in story. Think about how that shows up in what you produce, whether it's in your website content and you use story to show your prospects and customers what's in it for them. That's the answer to their number one question: what's in it for me? Content wrapped in story makes for an interesting blog when you set it up with the problem that they're facing and show how what you offer is the solution to that problem. Even if you're writing your bio, which I prefer to call a profile, speaks to the heart of who you are and how that you of you can solve the particular problem that your prospect, your client, your customer is having. So these are some of the things I'm going to be sharing with my clients. And yes, I know I'm a writer and I've been telling stories my whole life. Even when I was a kid carrying around a notebook and crayons, even when I was editor of the Rough Rider in middle school. But honestly, you can learn to tap into stories too and use them to grow your business. And I can help you. And if any of it, from consistency to feeling an emotion to story, the big kahuna, if any of this resonates with you, I so encourage you to reach out to me. Either DM me, send me an email at barbara@barbaramenino.com, or follow me if you want to learn more on any of the social media sites. I would love to speak to you because I love to talk story. I look at life through the lens of story. I look at business through the lens of story. And I have to tell you that over many long years of my life, it has given me great joy. And it has resonated with people who follow me, who use my services, or who just sit down for a good chat. So I hope you'll reach out. We would have a lot to talk about. All for now. Have a great week. Be on your starting blocks. We'll talk again soon.